And it was Book of Denial, chapter 10. I did chapter 9 last night. Figure 10, 11, chapter 10, 11, 12. Anyways, it's 539 BC. Denial comforted by the angels. And our pillars salt. In the third year of Cyrus, king of Persia, a thing was revealed unto Daniel, whose name was called Belteshazzar. I think it was true, but the time appointed was long, and he understood the thing, and he had understanding of the vision. In those days I, Daniel, was mourning 3 full weeks. I ate no pleasant bread, neither came flesh nor wine into my mouth, neither did I anoint myself at all, till 3 whole weeks were fulfilled. And in the 24th day of the first month, as I was by the side of the great river, which is Dekel, then I lifted up mine eyes, and looked, and behold, a certain man clothed in linen, whose loins were girded with fine gold of Ophaz, and his body also was like beryl, and his face has the appearance of lightning, his eyes as lamps of fire, and his arms and his feet like in color to polished brass, and the voice of his words like the voice of a multitude. Now Daniel alone saw the vision, for the men that were with me saw not the vision, but a great quaking fell upon them, they that fled to hide themselves. Therefore I was left alone, and I saw this great vision, and there remained no strength in me, for my comeliness was turned in me into corruption, and I retained no strength. Yet heard I the voice of his words. When I heard the voice of his words, then was I in a deep sleep on my face, and my face toward the ground. Now the angels' prophecy of Persia and Greece. Behold, a hand touched me, which set me upon my knees, on the palms of my hands, and said unto me, O Daniel, a man greatly beloved, understand the words that I speak unto thee, and stand upright, for unto thee I am now sent. Whom he had spoken this word unto me, I said, trembling, and he unto me, fear not, Daniel, for from the first day that thou didst set thine heart to understand, to chasten thyself before thy God, thy words were heard, and I am come for thy words. And for the prince of the kingdom of Persia withstood me 21 days. But lo, Michael, one of the chief princes, came to help me, and I remained there with the king of Persia. I have come to make thee understand what shall befall thy people in the latter days. Yet the vision is for many days. When he had spoken such words unto me, I set my face toward the ground, I became dumb. And behold, one like the multitude of the sons of men touched my lips. Then I opened my mouth and spake, and said unto him that stood before me, O my Lord, by the vision my sorrow are turned upon me, and I have retained no strength, or how can the servant of this my Lord talk with this my Lord? For as for me, straightway there remained no strength in me, neither is there breath left in me. Then there came again and touched me one like unto the appearance of a man, and he strengthened me and said, O man greatly beloved, fear not, peace be unto thee. Be strong, yea, be strong. When he had spoken unto me, I was strengthened, and said, Let my Lord speak, for thou hast strengthened me. Then said he, Knowest thou wherefore I come unto thee? I will return to fight with the prince of Persia, and when I gone forth, though the prince of Grecia shall come, I will show thee that which is noted in the scripture of truth, that there is none that holdeth with me in these things, but Michael your prince. On the overthrow of Persia. Also in the first year, Darius of Media, even I, stood to confirm and to strengthen. Now I will show thee the truth. Behold, there shall stand up yet 3 kings in Persia. The 4th shall be far richer than they all. And by his strength, through his riches, he shall set up all against the realm of Grecia. And mighty king shall stand up, that shall rule with great dominion to do according to his will. And when shall he stand up, his kingdom shall be broken, and shall be divided toward the 4 winds of heaven, not to his posterity, nor according to his dominion, but when he ruled, for his kingdom shall be plucked up, even for others beside those. Kings of the south and north. And the kings of the south shall be strong. One of his princes, he shall be strong above him. And dominion, his dominion shall be a great dominion. And in the end of his years, they shall join themselves together. The king's daughter of the south shall come to the king of the north to make an agreement. And she shall not retain the power of the arm, neither shall he stand on his arm, but she shall be given up. And they that brought her, and he that begat her, and he that strengthened her in these times, out of a branch for roots, shall stand up in his estate, and shall come with an army, shall enter into the fortress of the king of the north, and shall deal against him, and shall prevail, and shall also carry captives into Egypt, their God with their princes, with their precious vessels of silver and of gold. He shall continue more years than the king of the north. So the king of the south shall come into his kingdom, shall return into his own land. And his son shall be stirred up, and assemble a multitude of great forces, and one shall certainly come and overflow, and pass through. Then shall he return, be stirred up even to his fortress. And the king of the south shall be moved with shoulder, and shall come forth and fight with them, even with the king of the north, and he shall set forth a great multitude, but the multitude shall be given into his hand. And when he hath taken away the multitude, his heart shall be lifted up, and he shall cast down many 10,000, but he shall not be strengthened by it. But the king of the north shall return, and shall set forth a multitude greater than the former, shall certainly come after certain years, with a great army with much riches. And in those times there shall many stand up against the king of the south. Also the robbers of thy people shall exalt themselves to establish the vision, but they shall fall. So the king of the north shall come and cast up a mount, and take the most fenced cities. And the arms of the south shall not withstand, neither his chosen people, neither shall there be any strength to withstand. But he that cometh against him shall do according to his own will. None shall stand before him, and he shall stand in his glorious land, by which his hand shall be consumed. He shall also set his face to enter with the strength of his whole kingdom, and the upright ones with him, but thus shall he do. He shall give him the daughter of women, corrupting her, but she shall not stand on his side, neither before him. After this shall he turn his face into the isles, and shall take many. But a prince for his own behalf shall cause the reproach offered by him to cease. Without his own reproach, he shall cause it to turn upon him. And then he shall turn his face toward the fort of his own land, but he shall stumble and fall, and not be found. Then shall stand up in his isles a raiser of taxes, in the glory of the kingdom, but within few days he shall be destroyed, neither in anger nor in battle. And his estate shall stand up like a vile person, to whom they shall not give the honor of the kingdom, but he shall come in peaceably, and obtain the kingdom by flatteries. With the arms of a flood shall they be overthrown before him, and he shall be broken. Yea, also the princes of the covenant, after the league made with him, he shall work deceitfully, for shall come up, and shall be strong with a small people. And shall enter peaceably, even upon the fattest places of the province, and shall do that which his fathers have not done, nor his fathers' fathers, and he shall scatter among them the prey and the spoil and riches. Yea, he shall forecast his devices against the strongholds, even for a time. He shall stir up his power and his courage against the king of the south of the great army. And the king of the south shall be stirred up to battle with a very great and mighty army, but he shall not stand, for they shall forecast devices against him. Yea, that feed of the portion of his meat shall destroy him, and his army shall overflow. Many shall fall down slain. But both these hearts shall be to do mischief. They shall speak lies at one table, and shall not prosper. Yet the end shall be at the time appointed. Thus he shall return into his land with great riches. His heart shall be against the holy covenant. He shall do exploits and return to his own land. At that time the appointed he shall return and come towards the south, but shall not be as the former or as the latter. The tyranny of the western king. For the ships of Chittim shall come against him, therefore he shall be grieved to return, having indignation against the holy covenant. So shall he do. He shall even return, have intelligence with them that forsake the holy covenant, and arms shall stand on his part, and they shall pollute the sanctuary of strength, and shall take away the daily sacrifice. They shall place the abomination that maketh desolate, and such as do wickedly against the covenant shall he corrupt by flatteries. But the people do know their God shall be strong and do exploits, and they that understand among the people shall instruct many. Yeah, they shall fall by the sword, by flame, and captivity, by spoil, many days. Now, when they shall fall, they shall holpen with a little help. But many shall cleave to them with flatteries, and some of them of understanding shall fall to try them and to purge and to make them white, even to the time of the end, because it is yet for a time appointed. And the king shall do according to his will. He shall exalt himself and magnify himself above every god, and shall speak marvelous things against the God of gods, and shall prosper, till the indignation be accomplished. For that is determined shall be done. Neither shall he regard the God of his fathers, nor the desire of women, nor regard any god, for he shall magnify himself above all. In his estate shall he honor the God of forces, and a God whom his fathers knew not shall he honor with gold and silver, precious stones, and pleasant things. Thus shall he do in the most strongholds with a strange God whom he acknowledge and increase with glory. He shall cause him to rule over many, and shall divide the land for gain. And at the time of the end shall the king of the south push at him, and the king of the north shall come against him with like a whirlwind, with chariots, with horsemen, with many ships, and shall enter into the countries, shall overflow and pass over. He shall enter also into the glorious land, and many countries shall be overthrown, and they shall escape out of his hand. I have even Edom and Moab, the chief of the children of Ammon, shall stretch forth his hand also upon the countries, and the land of Egypt shall not escape. But he shall have power over the treasures of gold and of silver, and over all precious things of Egypt. And the Libyans and the Ethiopians shall be at his steps. No tidings out of the east and out of the north shall trouble him. Therefore he shall go forth with great fury to destroy, and utterly to make away many. He shall plant the tabernacles of his palace between the seas and the glorious holy mountains, yet he shall come to his end, and none shall help him. Alright, last chapter of denial, number 12. Alright, Michiel. Michiel's delivered to the end times. At that time shall Michael stand up, and the great prince which standeth forth the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. At that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book. Many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, some to shame and everlasting contempt. They that shall be wise shall shine as the brightness of the firmament, and they that turn many to righteousness as the stars forever and ever. But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end. For many shall run to and fro and acknowledge, and knowledge shall increase. Then I, Daniel, looked and beheld there was a two, the one on this side of the bank of the river, and the other on that side of the bank of the river. And the one said to the man clothed in linen, which was upon the waters of the river, How long shall it be to the end of these wonders? And I heard the man clothed in linen, which is upon the waters of the river, which he held up his right hand and his left hand unto heaven, and swear by him that liveth forever and ever, that it shall be for a time, times and a half. When it shall have accomplished to scatter the power of the holy people, all these things shall be finished. And I heard and I beheld, but I understood not. Then said I, O my Lord, what shall be at the end of these things? He said, Go thy way, Daniel, for the words are closed up and sealed to the time of the end. And it shall be purified, made white and tried. The wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand, but the wise shall understand. And from the time the daily sacrifice shall be taken away, the abomination that maketh desolate set up, there shall be 1,290 days. So blessed is he that waiteth and cometh to the 1,330 days. But go thy way till the end be, thou shalt rest, and stand in thy lot at the end of days.